know what I'm talking about.
Get a little. And then
do it again. Do it again.
A little.
That's it.
You know what it is, Truth Nation. It's time to wake up with Milwaukee's favorite morning show.
My point is, if you're 40 or if you're still trying to push for something, it doesn't mean that it's over just because it's been delayed. Delayed doesn't mean denied.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, this is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming on YouTube.
You gotta love black folks. We gonna make a way out. What you mean, man? All you gotta do is get I gotta do is put a little all in it. Go get the Robitussin so we can get this car fixed.
Here are your hosts, the effective communication coach, Denise Thomas, and two-time Emmy Award winner, Telly Hughes.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. It is Monday, July 29th. We got three technically, considering today's day of July. August is almost here. Good morning, Telly.
Good morning, DT. What you think about the new intro?
Good morning, Telly.
It's a good morning, DT. I said, what did you think about the new intro? Oh, you heard me. Oh, never mind. Good morning.
How was your weekend?
Good Monday morning to you. My weekend was good. My weekend, like I said before, on Monday, I expected for it to be chilled, and that's exactly what ended up happening. The Olympics kicked off, and just really chilled, and got the Olympics going. Much more chilled than what you had going on.
Oh, man. All right. Good morning, DJ Ricky on the ones and twos.
Morning, crew. What do you do?
So, spontaneity, it is one of the best experiences that I've always had in life. So, Telly, as you mentioned, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I was here for an award ceremony, which, by the way, Truth Nation, follow or connect with an organization known as Melanin Money. And especially those amazing younger leaders out there. So especially if you're under the age of 40, be sure to connect with an organization known as Melanin Money. It was founded by two younger brothers in Atlanta, Georgia, and they had their award ceremony. I was nominated for Business Coach of the Year. And when I tell you, they are all about creating and sustaining wealth in our community. There had to be about $350 million worth of people in that room, boy. It was just, whoo! You know that song, It's a Whole Lot of Money? And I walked in there, I was like, it smell rich. But yes, it was a great event. Now, Telly, are you ready for this? I told you I was going to save this for the show. Are you ready for what I experienced yesterday?
Let's do
Ricky,
it.
can we get a drum roll? Do we have a drum roll ready? Because I had no idea this was going to happen yesterday, and it happened. Woo! So a friend of mine who I had not seen in a good, I'd say 3 or 4 years, we ran into each other, and she was like, hey, what are you doing Sunday? And I was like, well, I'm flying back. She said, is there any way you could change your plans? I said, well, what's going on? Last night, my girl took me. We went together to go see Bust the Bus, Sierra, and Missy Elliott.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I see why you left that out this morning.
Look, Truth Nation, when I tell y'all, because I know, look, for a lot of us, concerts, it's a process. It's an investment. It's a lot of money. Go see Missy Elliott. That's all I got to say.
What about Buster Bus? Was he on a little better behavior this time around?
Oh, what did he do? Oh, you mean when he was at Essence?
Yeah, he did cuss some folks out last time he was on stage. So what do you mean, what'd he do?
I forgot about that. What do you mean, what do I mean? I don't wake up every morning thinking about Busta Rhymes, but it was amazing. Y'all go see the concert. That truly was a life-changing experience. Sierra looks amazing. Look, I think her youngest baby is 5 months. Yeah, she snatched back very quickly. Bus the Bus, he killed it. I don't want to give too much away because I'm not that person that like spoils. So I know there might be some listeners that are actually, already got tickets. Trust and believe, you're going to feel like you owe. Yes, that was actually their 14th show. It was the 14th show. And Sierra was presented by the mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens, as well as the president of the city's Common Council. It was Sierra Day. It was proclaimed Sierra Day yesterday in Atlanta during the concert. Missy came out. She did all her hits. She did the songs that she actually performed. She did the songs that, y'all, Truth Nation, if you can, go to the Busta Rhymes, Sierra, Missy Elliott concert. And, of course, there was a surprise last night. I don't think she would bring this artist out, but she did bring a local Atlanta artist that she has worked with for many, many years. I'll give you a clue. It wasn't Timberland. It's a female artist from Atlanta. That Missy. I'm giving you a lot of clues here, Telly.
Yeah, you're right. Was it the Brat? It wasn't the Brat.
You're close. Starts with the letter M as in Michael. It was Monica.
Oh, yeah. She probably won't bring her out in any other places. That is like kind of they're both from Atlanta, right? Isn't Monica from Atlanta?
She is. She's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I want to say College Park to be specific.
I don't think that's giving it away. Yeah, I don't think that's.
Yeah, I think because she lives in Atlanta, but yeah, Telly, if you your girls would love it too. Your daughters would love it. It was a great show. It really was.
I wonder, are they coming close? I'm gonna have to look that up at least during the break to see where how close they're coming to Milwaukee. If they're not coming to Milwaukee, maybe they'll hit Chicago or. Yeah,
I would think so. I was sipping my coffee. What do you think about the intro, Telly?
I only because we were talking.
You asking me questions. I'm like, well, how do you feel? It's a co-host show, right? What are your thoughts?
What I caught, I liked it. I think we should play it again.
Let's play it again, man.
Because we were talking. Ricky, play the intro again.
Yeah, because we were talking when you originally said it was playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here y'all go. Here we go. It's the new intro music or introduction for Truth Be Told with DT and Telly.
Stop touching that snooze button and get ready to clock in with the best morning show on the planet.
It's okay when we're singing, we're dancing, we're playing on the field, making everybody else laugh, making everybody else millions of dollars. But as soon as we have a voice, we're punished for it.
Giving you an informative dialogue with a side of fun and laughter while cutting through the noise and bringing you the real stories behind the headlines.
Look, it takes 5 minutes. Notice I'm not getting into details about what goes on in Switzerland, but those that know, you know what I'm talking about.
Get a little. And then
do it again. Do it again.
A little.
That's it.
You know what it is, Truth Nation. It's time to wake up with Milwaukee's favorite morning show.
My point is, if you're 40 or if you're still trying to push for something, it doesn't mean that it's over just because it's been delayed. Delayed doesn't mean denied.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, this is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming on YouTube.
You gotta love black folks. We gonna make a way out. What you mean, man? All you gotta do is get
I gotta do is put a little oil in it.
Go get the Robitussin so we can get this car fixed.
Here are your hosts, the effective communication coach, Denise Thomas, and two-time Emmy Award winner, Telly Hughes.
There you go. What do you think about it, Telly? That's in its entirety.
I'm feeling it.
You feeling it? Okay, good.
I'm feeling it.
Well, DJ Ricky, thank you for making our new introduction.
You're welcome. But you still haven't
Truth Nation, are y'all feeling? Oh, I'm sorry?
You still haven't answered me and Telly question how you feel about it.
Yeah, I think it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, Telly and I were talking, and then I was running my mouth, so I didn't hear the whole introduction. But yes, It was good.
As
Let's
long
go.
as DT and Telly is happy, I am happy.
Well, thank you. As long as our listeners are happy from my lens, then I'm happy. So are y'all feeling the new intro? Hit us up on our Truth Talk and text line, which is 833-212-1017. We also are live right now. You can stream and watch Telly and I live on YouTube. Just simply go to YouTube, youtube.com. Go to the search button, the search box. Type in 101.7 The Truth and select that live button, and you can see Telly and I live right now as we are coming to you live on a Monday morning. Again, hope everyone had a great weekend. As I mentioned, I sure did. And shout out again to Missy Elliott, Sierra, and Ludacris, Busta Rhymes. Go check them out if you can. The concert was amazing.
Better,
and you know, there was a part where
look it up. Go ahead, DT.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I looked it up, and they will be in Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, August 22nd and August 23rd.
Bam, bam, there it is. Telly, take your daughters. I am telling you, take your daughters and your wife. Take the whole family. It is definitely an experience like no other. And again, I don't want to give too much away, but think about it. Missy Elliott, she was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First hip-hop artist to ever be inducted, female artist in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then to go on this tour, she's future, so you're going to feel like you're in the year of like 3010. It won't feel like you're in 2024. But y'all, we got a great show for you again. Thank you so much for starting your morning off today. Now, Telly made a great point this morning, and I know this may not have been his intention, but it was such a great point. So, Truth Nation, I don't know if y'all feel it like I feel it, but from a local Milwaukee news standpoint, any of the local news media outlets, including Truth Nation, 101.7 The Truth, when we are out here finding great topics and information to share with you, it's really disturbing when you look at it from a local standpoint and all you read is homicide, shooting, car runs into a building, children being killed. What is going on? And I personally, Telly, I don't like to discuss all of the violence that is going on in our city, all the senseless violence, especially on a Monday morning. But when we come back, Telly, how are you feeling knowing that every time that we are looking to cover a story from a local standpoint here in Milwaukee, it's just saturated with violence? You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. We want to hear from you as well. Violence continues to be the dominant news subject here in Milwaukee, and we want to find out how you're feeling about that. 833-212-1017. We'll hear from Telly when we come back. Stay tuned.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. All your favorite interviews and best moments live in one place.
I love your perspective, Sherwin.
Thank you.
You do a great job.
Appreciate
you do a great job. I downloaded the app so I can listen to you in the evening sometimes because you make a great difference in how you present things in many ways, politically, socially, financially. You do a great job.
Download the new 101.7 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 101.7 The Truth.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 101.7 The Truth.
There are individuals in our community who certainly need health services, a variety of health services. What if they do not have health insurance? How can you serve that population?
Our community health center allows patients to come to our clinic regardless of their ability to pay, and that's part of our federal funding. You can come to our clinic and be seen based on what we call a poverty level. So anyone 200% or below a poverty level can be seen in our clinic clinic for anywhere from $20 to $40 for that visit. So, in other words, if your visit is a $400 visit and you fall on our sliding scale where you pay $20 for your visit, you would not be responsible for the $400. You'd only be responsible for $20 for that visit. Also, our pharmacy prescriptions are very, very affordable as well. Where you would normally pay, let's say for an inhaler, $240 a month for an inhaler, at our facility that would cost you about $4 or $5.
It's very good to know you guys have a sliding scale that makes it very, very affordable.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call and that's all.
They will do what they say they're going to do. One call and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey y'all, have you heard of Liberate MKE? We're building power for our community for our voices to be heard. We are addressing community issues by redistributing funds from the city budget into public health, housing, libraries, and more. Did you know the Milwaukee Police Department got $300 million last year and public health didn't even get a fraction of that? We're focused on funding life, not violence. If you want to be a part of that, come join us. You can find us at liberatemke.com.
It is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
Oh, I'm getting a flashback, y'all. I'm getting a flashback. Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Telly and I are so excited that you are starting your morning off here at 1017 The Truth. You can stream and watch Telly and I live right now, coming to you again live 7:18 in the morning. Now, before break, I was sharing with Telly and Ricky that I just saw Missy Elliott last night in Atlanta. You definitely want to go see that show. Busta Rhymes killed it. Sierra killed it. Missy, you know she crushed it. She came out and did all her hits along with songs that she produced like Aaliyah, 702. That's all I'm going to say, though, because I'm not one of those people that wants to ruin it. But Telly, take the family, take the wife, take the daughters. You will feel like you owe Missy Elliott money back after that show.
I'm laughing because you said, "Ooh, I just got a flashback." A flashback from what, 6 hours ago?
I had a flashback from that when he played that song. Yes, from 6. Telly, leave me alone. Why are you always messing with me? Dang, you like a little brother, just like a little gnat in my ear. Get away!
It's still fresh.
You had a flashback 6 hours ago. Yes, I did. Goodness. Anywho, before break, we were talking about. Boy, I tell you. In all seriousness, so we were talking about. We are very committed to making sure that we provide news at both a national and local, most importantly a local level, because this is Milwaukee Black Talk Radio. Telly, Ricky, and I, trust me, we calibrate what we're going to bring to you because you deserve the best every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Local news, it has become very difficult for us because for me personally, Truth Nation, I don't want to start your day off by talking about violence because for many it could be a trigger. However, Telly, I'm just going to read the headlines that I see from a local standpoint that you shared when we were prepping for our show yesterday. Here we go. 5 teenagers shot Sunday morning in Milwaukee. Milwaukee police search for critically missing 19-year-old man. Man dies in motorcycle crash on I-94 in Waukesha County. Milwaukee police investigating double shooting outside of Northside Pizza Hut. Milwaukee house hit by stolen driver by stolen car, driver hospitalized and arrested. How's that make you feel, Telly? That's the local news headlines here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I feel every day. I mean, we talk about this all the time. And then what is amazing or perplexing to me is the fact that when someone else says Milwaukee is a terrible city and people get offended, it's like, well, if this is all you're hearing and all you're seeing, but then talk about how great the city is, the two doesn't match. I mean, we know the potential that Milwaukee has, and Milwaukee has been displayed in various positive lights. It's just not a consistent thing. And we talked about how it was so nonviolent the week that the RNC was here, but then as soon as the RNC pulls out of town, boom, it seems like everything just cranked right back up. And I would just think that why wouldn't you want that to be the norm as opposed to every now and again we'll have a break where there isn't that type of violence or crimes that are being committed?
And you know what? That concerns me the most, the fact that we can make the city look a certain way when we have company, and once they leave, then it goes back. So that's something that concerns me. Good morning, Al. You were live with DT and Telly. What is your question or comment?
Well, my comment is when we put it all on the table, we got a lot of black people living in denial, the loss of pride. We're not holding parents accountable. Let's not forget about these old folkies that's out there trying to act like they're young and they're not, with that diaper booty, pull your pants off. Then we also got to look at the fact, you know, what's her name? Her name is Danita Howard, the sheriff lady who look like she's out of touch with blacks. She's missing in action. She ain't seeing nothing either. And then we also got to go back to our people. A lot of them like to make excuses for Negroism, because what we see going on is not part of actually black culture and how our grandparents was raised. And it's to the point right now a lot of people don't care. So when we start saying lock them up, and when they don't want to lock them up, then the situation will go away. So me personally, I think we got to do a whole reset button. The people, if they don't care about society, you don't care about them. Children, parents, and these old folks, lock all of them out. That's the problem.
There you have it.
Miss Anita, you laying chill. You can remove yourself and go down there to Texas with the other one with them black rim glass, because I think you out of touch anyway. Because what's going to happen, DT and Telly, let somebody white, like a police officer get hit, they're going to be on there giving these news briefs. But with all this stuff dealing with black people, they ain't coming out. Lock them all up, and let's remove them. We got the power to vote. People got the power to go to church. Well, they can get the power to get these streets clean and get these politicians out of position. But it's going to take us. It starts at home first. And I just want to leave that. Happy Monday. Do you today.
Thank you, Al. Happy Monday to you. So, Telly, Al says that we need to be looking at the sheriff along with the police chief. Now, considering that one of the headlines that I read, Telly, was 5 teenagers were shot yesterday morning here in Milwaukee. How does that make you feel based on what Al had shared? Who should be held accountable?
I really don't know. I think it's much more complicated than what is just what Al was just saying. I think that he clearly thinks that Sheriff Danita Ball is her name, is out of touch, and I just think that there needs to be some sort of programs, because it just seems like the years I've been in Milwaukee, it's just been accepted that crime is going to go up when the weather gets warm. And if you're just going to accept that, then you're going to do very little to try and prevent it. And I just think that there needs to be other programs or something, because it just can't continue to be this way, because it's day after day we hearing about gun violence and teenagers getting shot and kids shooting other kids and reckless driving. And if we know these are the problems, let's try to find ways to at least address it and not just say, oh, here it is again, or it's just happening one more time. So, I mean, there's enough blame to go around. You could go from what Al was saying, from the parents to some of the law enforcement. I mean, there's enough blame to go around. But again, blaming, sitting around pointing the finger at each other is not going to solve anything.
Well, not only is it not going to solve anything, I definitely don't feel that Danita Ball, as the Milwaukee County Sheriff, or Chief Norman, Police Chief of Milwaukee, should be held accountable when the headline reads 5 teenagers between the ages of 15 to 18 years old, according to the Milwaukee Police Department, were shot near 92nd Street and Silver Spring Drive around 5 a.m., Telly. That's a parenting problem.
Yeah.
Because if you let me, and this is by no means, I'm not comparing animals to children or vice versa, but if you were walking by my house and I had a pit bull that was not on a leash or anything and was just able to basically attack you, maul you, and kill you, would you hold Sheriff Danita Ball or Police Chief Norman accountable for my dog not being on a leash and just attacking and killing you? Would your family blame them?
No.
They would blame who?
They can't.
They would blame me.
They would blame you. Yes.
So if you've got teenagers that are out in the streets that late or early in the morning that are 15 to 18 years old, 15 to 18, that's a freshman in high school to a senior in high school. That is nothing but the parents or the guardians of those teenagers. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. When we come back, we're going to give you an update. Speaking of violence in Milwaukee, there has been an arrest made for the previous mass shooting that happened in a local park in Milwaukee. We'll give you an update regarding that. And again, y'all, I'm sorry that we have to start Monday off talking about the violent epidemic going on in our community. We'll be back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
We're at a turning point in Milwaukee's political history as we go towards the end of this year and into 2025. The choices we make now will have a lasting impact on our city in the future. The impending financial difficulties necessitate a cooperative strategy that unites every aspect of our society to create long-term fixes. There has never been any question about the tenacity and the spirit of Milwaukeeans, and it is this strength that we need to utilize more than ever. Our future depends on creative problem solving, utilizing cross-border alliances, and being dedicated to making sure that all Milwaukeeans' voices, especially those of the historically marginalized, are acknowledged and heard during the policymaking process. Prioritizing equitable development will ensure that long-standing imbalances are addressed and economic growth will benefit all Milwaukee citizens. You know, it's essential to make investments in Milwaukee's public services, infrastructure, educational systems in order to both prevent the budget crisis and create a more robust and energetic city. Now, as we traverse these obstacles, let us never forget that our community is our most valuable resource. And by working together, we can overcome any challenge and create a future that embodies Milwaukee's greatest qualities, which are resilience, being inclusive, and being a successful city.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Just have some delays westbound 894 as per usual through the construction zone just west of Loomis all the way to 68th Street. Westbound 94 slowing down a bit from about 27th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 43, quick tap of the brakes heading right past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly cloudy, a chance for midday showers or storms, humid with a high of 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, patchy fog later on, a low of 71. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
It is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Good morning. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Now, Telly, this is interesting because I know we had reported about the mass shooting that took place at Deneen Park where a 17-year-old girl died along with 9 other teens being injured. The most recent update as this story continues to develop, or this terrible incident, is that there has been an arrest made. So far, 1 arrest has been made in this deadly mass shooting that took place at Deneen Park, where one 17-year-old teenage girl was killed and 9 others were shot and injured. The 17-year-old girl's name was Amira Wallace. And again, as 9 other teenagers were injured and struck by bullets. And so the Milwaukee Police Department has confirmed that an arrest has been made. Days after the shooting, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, as well as other community partners, descended upon the neighborhood as part of the investigation and checking in after the tragedy. I don't even feel good about reporting that there was an arrest been made, because at the end of the day, these babies are still gone.
Yeah. And we played that 45-second clip of all the guns, all the shots that were fired, and it didn't even seem real. And that's what we're talking about, is taking place outside of parks where kids are trying to play. And it is something that we have to find a way to curb it, because it just seems like when these offenders do things like this, they get a slap on the wrist and they know nothing is really going to happen to them, so they're going to get back out there and continue to do the same things. And Stacy hit us up on our True Talking text line, 833-212-1017. Stacy says, well, DT and Telly, to start the day with violence talk is necessary. First, it's addressing our youth and hopefully can get positive feedback from listeners / text messages, etc. Question is, are parents aware of the actions of their kids out here causing havoc, then allowing them back into the house as if nothing has happened? Do you turn your kids in if they don't listen in wrecking the community?
Well, maybe Karen has an answer for that. Good morning, Karen. You are live with DT and Telly. What is your question or comment?
My comment is, there's an issue with like emotional constipation, I call it, and strain and trauma. So simple altercations or simple discussions become altercations because people are so full of it that they can't even answer a question. because it feels like too much like submission or swallowing some pride. And it's funny. So I'll give you some examples. Let's say you have like a black man in an authoritative position, and he has to raise his voice at a younger white male. The older white male will get, annoyed and come and test his patience, like ask for lemonade when there's no choice for lemonade, or when you ask somebody to stop calling you something and they call you that, it's out of frustration. So you have to decide, what do you do? Do you say, okay, it's okay, I'm used to it, or do you make a point? So now that we're in the situation where children are running around without any guidance, it's getting terrifying. So what's the best way? What's the best thing we can do now? I guess is really take some accountability and start treating each other with more respect and explain to the children why things are the way they are and why we use certain terms. If that makes sense.
It does. Thank you so much, Karen. We appreciate your call and your listenership. So Karen says, look, we got to start having, what did the term emotional constipation? That's interesting. I never heard that before. Very interesting term, but no lies told. We, again, are triggered by simple conversations on our YouTube message board, which you can stream in watch Telly and I live, as well as join in the conversation on the YouTube message board. August says, this is horrible. If 5 teens were out past 10 p.m., the parents should be held accountable.
Yeah.
Period. That's how I feel. Yes. Period.
Yeah, that's something that you can control, and that's something you can do something about. Absolutely. Again, I talked about it last week when it used to be when the news came on, it would say, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? And that's a legit question. And your kids, if they're not in the house and they're your kids, you should know where they are. There's absolutely no time that I know, and we often compare how we grew up, but we clearly know it's not the same. But if there was no way my mom did not know where I was after 10 o'clock at night.
No way.
There was just no way.
No way.
Absolutely no way. And we didn't have cell phones then or anything that, kept your location and stuff like that, or any app. But if it was 10 o'clock or after 10 o'clock, my mom knew where I was.
I was watching this clip the other day, Telly, and it was featuring our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. And she was talking about when she was raising her and President Barack Obama, Sasha and Malaya. It was never, Telly, which is, I think, another one of the root causes of why we're seeing constantly in Milwaukee, across the country, young people carrying out acts of violence, is because you got too many parents out here trying to be their kids' friends. My children are my best friend. They're my friends. They're my buddies. I love my kids. We're friends. I did not start being my kids' friends until they had their own apartments, their own full-time jobs, their own benefits, health care, dental care, vision care. That's when we could become friends.
Yes.
But there's, and I don't want
to. It's, yeah, and when they act
you want
out,
to be a parent.
It's a friend acting out. Yeah, and exactly. And then you try to switch it over and be like, wait a minute, you try to be the disciplinary, and then they're looking at you like, you're supposed to be my homie. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. And I don't know why you would want to be your child's friend or your children's friend. I don't tell grown people how to raise their kids, Telly. But it as a citizen who is looking for the next generation of leaders, our succession planning is at a point now where we should be focusing on our young people, not just from a voting standpoint, from a leadership standpoint. And when you see headlines every day, and not that it makes it better when you see adults involved in violent acts. However, make it make sense when you've got 15 to 18-year-old teenagers out committing acts of violence at 5 a.m. in the morning. That means they've been out all night, Telly. They've been out all night. And to the caller earlier, Karen, they've been out so long now that they done got on each other's nerves. And now they're ready to shoot each other up. That's basically what that results into. We done been out all night. you looked at my boyfriend, or you talked to my girlfriend, or you looking at me kind of weird. Fix your face, and next thing you know, boom.
But then when the school year starts, you got 85 days where you've been late, where you could clearly, you're up early to do the wrong thing. Why can't you get up and go to school?
Al says all of these kids are not coming from single parent homes either. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. This is not just a single parent stigma. This is, again, parents, number one, trying to be friends with their kids. And number two, not being held accountable. How do we hold parents accountable that are allowing, or even if it's not the actual parent, let's say the guardian? How should we hold Truth Nation? How should we hold parents? And when I say we, I mean us as individual Milwaukee residents, citizens, however you want to classify it. How should we and the city be holding parents and guardians of children under the age of 18 that are committing these violent acts of crime that are resulting in homicide? How should we hold them accountable? 833-212-1017. During the break, I'm going to see if I can find, Ricky and I, this audio of where Forever First Lady Michelle Obama was talking about the consequences of trying to be your child's friend and why she did not raise, along with President Barack Obama, Sasha and Malaya as their buddies. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We'll be back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, Truth Nation, we've been entering fans into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway, and this Wednesday we finally pick our next one call That's All $5,000 giveaway winner. Be sure to tune in to Truth in the Afternoon with me this Wednesday so you don't miss your call, because if you do, we will go down to the next caller until we find our $5,000 winner. So again, that's the big Gruber 5K giveaway this Wednesday on Truth in the Afternoon with me, Dr. Ken Harris, on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 1017 The Truth.
So we do have a drug take-back box at Outreach Community Health Centers. So if people have medications at their home that they want to get rid of, they could bring it to our pharmacy and we'll dispose of it for them. Anything that's not being used, anything that's kind of out of date, even antibiotics, any other medications, definitely it's better to safely dispose of it, and definitely don't flush it down the toilet because that puts it back into our drinking water supply.
So why is that a bad thing, Annie? Why do we not want to flush our medication?
Yeah, so it contaminates our drinking water. It contaminates our waterways, so our rivers and lakes don't benefit from all of those medications entering into the water supply. And we don't also enter. We have great drinking water in the city of Milwaukee, but they can only filter out so many of the pharmaceuticals. So as much as we can to reduce the pharmaceutical supply in our drinking water, we'll all be better off.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Learn from experts at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Their faculty are recognized worldwide as leaders in their fields. You'll get to know them in small classes and through hands-on learning opportunities that provide real-world experience. Choose from more than 200 programs. Plus, new UWM freshmen are automatically considered for merit scholarships. You can receive up to $6,000 over 4 years. Find out why thousands of students are choosing the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Apply now.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've been talking about here in the past 2 weeks, local news here in Milwaukee has been consumed, or I should say saturated with violence. There was another shooting over the weekend. 5 teenagers were involved in a shooting that took place late Saturday night all the way through Sunday morning at 5 a.m. when the incident took place. And okay, that was, oh, that's the audio. Okay, there we go. I was wondering, I was like, is that Michelle Obama in the studio, Telly? So we were talking about the root causes because, again, we as Milwaukee citizens, as Milwaukee parents, teachers, community leaders, we know the reality. So what can be done about it? There are too many parents out here who are trying to be friends with their children, especially their teenage children. Here's a sound bite from former First Lady Michelle Obama during an interview where she was sharing how she, along with President Barack Obama, raised their children, including not trying to be their friends. And if you do, here are the consequences. Check this out.
We're not friends. You know, once you decide you want your child to be your friend, now you're worried about them liking you. That's right. And there's so much of parenting that has nothing to do with them liking you. Your kids have to learn how to live in their unhappiness, and they have to learn it in their house. Their first bout of unfairness can't be at school or when they're 30.
That was former forever First Lady Michelle Obama talking about the responsibilities associated with parenting, including not being your child's friend. Now, Telly, before we get into your reaction, I want to read a text message that came in on our Truth Talking text line, which is 833-212-1017. It's from Brielle. Brielle says, as a younger person myself, this is absolutely terrifying that these kind of people are my peers. This is a younger person. Using the word absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, because you have the young people that are doing things that aren't right, and it's representing a mass group. And if I'm one of those young people that aren't out there trying to do those things, then yes, I would be terrified as well, because these are the people that's representing my age group. And to go back to what Michelle Obama was saying, it is such a slippery slope. Again, like you gave the disclaimer earlier, if you grown, I can't tell you another grown person how to raise their kids, but what you can do is advise and tell them maybe some of the pitfalls that you have maybe come across, and hopefully they can avoid them. But if they're too busy trying to be the homie or the cool parent, or, you know, I want to be the cool dad or the cool mom, and again, when something comes up, you can't just flip that. You can't just become the disciplinarian. And she makes so many great points in the little that she said, because you don't want your first encounter of adversity to happen outside of the home, because you want your kid to be prepared for some of the things, and you can't prepare them for everything, but there are some things that you would like for them to experience in your own home. I mean, if we all had it our way, everything that our kids experience for the first time would happen in our presence. But we know that's not going to happen. But we can try and prepare them as parents, not as their friends, but as parents, to help them understand these things may come up.
Because to your point, Telly, there is a difference, as we heard from forever First Lady Michelle Obama on our Truth Talk and Text line. Aaron Moore says, not to make a joke out of it, but I'm sure these teens' parents are the type that would blame Kamala Harris for doing her job in cases where the offender was actually guilty. Now, I know during Madam Vice President's tenure as Attorney General in the state of California, she came hard. Like, she held parents accountable if their children were truant in school. If they weren't attending school and did not have an excused absence and were classified as truant, Attorney General Kamala Harris in the state of California put it down on those parents.
Yes.
I absolutely agree with that policy.
Right, and
absolutely agree.
You start to look at the correlation between illiteracy and inmates and things of that nature. Like, there is a correlation. If someone is getting an education, they ain't got time to be doing crimes or committing crimes or being put in front of her. And that's the other thing that I don't really get, because the last time I checked, prosecutors don't put you in jail. And if you ended up in front of her, yes, every time someone isn't guilty, but you had to do something to end up in front of a DA or a prosecutor. That's just never, what it is.
Absolutely. And again, if you can't, as a parent, get mad once the local law enforcement and local government start to get involved in this. You cannot get upset because we can't continue to watch and witness our babies being murdered because parents and guardians of 15 to 18-year-olds, 12 to 14-year-olds are out in the streets up until 5 a.m. in the morning. So thank y'all so much for tuning in, letting us know how you feel, because again, this is something that Telly and I struggle with. We don't like to report from a local news standpoint every morning that violence is taking place in our community, especially when it's by our young people. It's getting out of hand. It is completely getting out of hand.
And I again appreciate the fact that we do have a platform to talk about this, because a lot of times we don't get an opportunity to talk about possible solutions that are going on in our community. The only thing we get are what the media reports, and then that's when we say, oh, that's a shame, or they should do something about that. But this is the time where, as a community, we could come together and start to get positive feedback and figure things out.
Absolutely. And like you said, Telly, we may not be able to solve this in a week or even a month, but the more and more that we start having these conversations with these types of solutions and holding our leadership accountable, because as you mentioned, it's going to get warmer before it gets cooler. We got another month or maybe even 6 weeks of warm weather. And the reality is that with global warming and climate change, it's going to continue to be hot outside. Now, as we get ready for the second hour, we've got a lot of great, interesting topics that I'm sure, Truth Nation, you're going to want to be a part of, including, and Telly, I can't wait to get your expertise on this. When I saw this headline, I was like, I cannot wait to get Telly's, because this is now, look, although we are not a sports talk radio show, this is huge for a lot of NBA fans, a lot of fans of NBA on TNT. We're going to get into most recent development in that story. Also, new developments in the killing of Sonya Massey. We're going to share with you. Sonya Massey was a 43-year-old black woman who was killed inside her home by Springfield, Illinois police officers, I should say deputy sheriffs. We're also going to get some more updates regarding the Olympics. Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Is there going to be a partnership as part of the Harris presidential campaign? Beyonce and Taylor Swift? You definitely don't want to miss that. Before we take our top of the hour break, Sonia, thank you so much for your patience. Good morning. You are live with DT and Telly. What is your question or comment?
Good morning, you guys. You do such a wonderful job. I just wanted to start off saying that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My issue is I was raised by a narcissistic mom, so she didn't really raise me. She just kind of ignored me. And so if anything happened, like I went to school and then a teacher calls the parents in for teacher-parents conference or whatever, you know, I would be the one that get beat and, you know, really destroyed me as a child. And so she was never around to say, you better be in by this time or guide me or anything like that. And so I didn't get into trouble, but she didn't give me the guidance I needed to not be in trouble. So even if I would have done something, I would have gotten beaten for that. So there is an area in this conversation where we do need to support the children depending on what's going on in the household. Not every parent is the same or parents the same. So we need to protect these children as much as possible.
Sonia, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. That's an excellent point, Telly. It's a great point. And see, this is to your point, Telly, this is why this is so important. This station is so important because no other talk radio show is not only going to give you 11 consecutive hours, but to have these types of platforms. Sonia, thank you so much because you're right. It's not just holding the parents accountable because we assume that all the parents are in a normal mental state. So again, thank you for that call. We're gonna take a quick break, come back at the top of the hour and get Telly's expertise on the big announcement with NBA on TNT. I'm looking at you. Go ahead.
Yeah. But before we do take that break, the Wisconsin State Fair starts August 1st and runs until August 11th. And the award-winning 1017 The Truth has the hookup for you. Now is your chance to win a 4-pack of State Fair tickets on Truth Be Told. Call 833-212-1017 and be caller number 3 this morning right now to win a 4-pack of State Fair tickets. So you want to get on that, and when we come back, we will begin our second hour of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. Keep it locked right here on 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Truth Nation, let us take a second to brag for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like President Joe Biden.
Black child poverty was cut in half in 2021. We built black wealth, 15 million jobs nationwide, more than 2.5 million for Black Americans. Black wealth is up 60% since the pandemic.
Former President Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump.
Guys, we almost had a former president and very likely future president assassinated on live TV. Like, you know what that would have done for this country? You know what that would have made our country look like? We would look like a banana republic.
And Brewers All-Star and former National League MVP Christian Yelich.
Listen, you already know.
Yeah, we got we were just in LA, so we heard our fair share of Kendrick out there in LA. Dodger Stadium has one of the best sound systems in baseball too.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app, listening live on 1017thetruth.com, and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Attention Milwaukee County residents. Are you prepared for the unexpected? From sudden storms to unforeseen emergencies, readiness is key. Take charge of your safety with a family emergency plan and an essential emergency kit. Stay informed and connected during emergencies. For tips and resources, visit us online or contact the Milwaukee County Office of Emergency Management. Prepare now, stay safe, and build a resilient community together, because readiness starts with you.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly for hour number 2. But before we get things going, congratulations to Alexis on winning today's Wisconsin State Fair ticket giveaway on Truth Be Told. Be sure to tune in to 101.7 The Truth tomorrow, as we will be giving away another free 4-pack of tickets to the Wisconsin State Fair. Shout out to Truth Nation, bringing the light to the truth. As we appreciate you always. Welcome back. We've been talking a lot about what's been going on in our community and how it is a struggle sometimes to come up with topics that are going to get you on point and get your day started and week started off right. But DT has something that she hit me up with this as soon as she saw it, and she said, "Ooh, I cannot wait to talk about that." DT, tell them what we're talking about here.
Yeah, so, and look, I want to make sure that I'm going to keep this as high level as possible in order to make sure that we get Telly's perspective. If you're not familiar with Telly's background, he is a professional, Emmy award-winning sports broadcasting journalist. And when I saw this headline, Truth Nation, I immediately thought of Telly, and I also want to hear what you think, Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. So, the NBA, the National Basketball Association, has secured a new broadcast deal, I should say deals, with the Walt Disney Company, NBC Universal, and Amazon, ending its long-time partnership with Warner Brothers. And so what that basically means that this is the end of the road for NBA on TNT. Now, I don't know about y'all, but during the basketball season, preseason, regular season, playoffs, all the way up to the World Championship, I stay locked in to Chuck, Shaq, Kenny the Jet Smith, and our brother from another mother, Ernie. And so the iconic Inside the NBA show, which has been a staple since 1988, has come to the end of the road, starting with the 2025-2026 season. Telly, I'm just going to put the mic down. What is we going to do? This is big. This is major.
Yes, that is a huge deal, because you're talking about games being on TNT for nearly the past 40 years, and now you're going to go back to, now originally it was on NBC Sports and before it got to TNT, and so it's really making a return back. But it's going to be interesting to see if they're just going to purge some of those guys from TNT and just bring them over and just try to keep that show going. Now, we know that isn't always a 100% guarantee formula for success, but for them to make this change, of course, it's all about money, because what was the deal? I want to say it was like close to like $6 billion or something like that, and actually TNT and Warner Brothers went back to the NBA and tried to match Amazon's proposed deal. And apparently they did not match it in the way that they thought they could. And the NBA was like, yeah, it's been real, but this is coming to an end. Now, as for Chuck, he had already stated that this was going to be his last season, regardless if there was going to be a deal or not. Now, for the ones that are just getting their career started and want to keep their careers going, the Kennys, the Shaqs, the Ernies, and they have newer guys that have come along as well, they're going to have to branch off into one of these other networks, because TNT will
because
no longer
Charles
have
Barkley
the games.
Charles Barkley he signed a deal with ESPN, correct? Which is owned by Disney.
Not that I heard of. Yeah, no, not that I heard.
Oh,
of.
okay.
Not as of yet.
I thought he was.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw him on ESPN, and they were interviewing him, and the famous longtime ESPN sports anchor, said, "Welcome to the team." We got the fact check there. DJ Ricky, can we fact check?
Yeah.
Where's Charles Barkley? And again, But here's the thing. Regardless, this is where, as a consumer of television, I don't watch a lot of television, but doggone it, I'm like, so I gotta subscribe and pay now to watch NBA games. I have enough subscriptions already. No, I'm serious. So if you're telling me that the NBA inks a deal with Peacock, that to me sounds like, and Prime Video, which is Amazon, that sounds like to me, if I don't already have a subscription to both of those streaming networks, then I have to get ready to pay to watch NBA games. Is that incorrect? That's what it says. That
they're going to have, not outside the ones that they will have on regular NBC. So they thinking about having like just a game a week. And yes, if you want to watch games during the week, there's a good chance you're going to have to get some sort of streaming service, because there will be very few games that are on regular cable anymore.
And so Warner Brothers owns TNT, correct? That's the parent company that sold. Yeah, the CEO of Warner Brothers, you need to be fired. Real talk. Like, where was your legal team? Man. Yeah. Like that, I am shaking my head, because that to me is where the dollar signs were at the forefront, and not the loyalty, and definitely not considering the fans. Can you believe that?
No.
In order to watch certain games during the NBA season, folks may have to subscribe and pay. And remember, even before these big streaming networks like, Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, Paramount, etc., Peacock, even if you didn't have cable, Telly, you could still watch major professional sports games.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What was it called? Basic channels, basic TV?
Yeah, they called it free TV, free games. But you go from that to just having a few games a week to now you're going to have to figure out how you're going to watch your favorite teams. It's not just a matter of just clicking on the television and boom, they're there. And you mentioned a big thing about something that I think they put very little value in, and that is the fans. There are millions of people that have made inside the NBA with TNT one of the best, most popular pregame shows in history, let alone it's been number one studio show for the past, God, who knows how long. And so you're going to just say, okay, yeah, it's been real, but all good things come to an end, as opposed to just trying to find ways to either revamp it or keep it going. Or there's so many streaming things. Why didn't they get on the streaming side of it and try to keep this show together? So,
because again, their CEO is terrible. No, I'm just kidding. But really. And so thank you, DJ Ricky. DJ Ricky, our great producer, just let us know that Charles Barkley is not going anywhere. Stacy came in as well. Thank you, Stacy, on our Truth Talking text line, 833-212-1017. Stacy says, Barkley said he would not work for ESPN. They work you like a slave, he said. And yes, this is what it is coming to pay to watch. Think around the holidays, had to pay to watch. Man, Stacy, thank you for sharing that information. This is crazy. So again, if you're just tuning in, as of the 2025-2026 seasons, this is basically your last season. Yes, NBA on TNT with Chuck, Kenny, Ernie, Shaq, and Charles Barkley are coming to an end. And as Telly had stated earlier, this show has been a staple in our viewership, and I'll even say our community, because like you said, Telly, when you tune into an NBA game on TNT, you watching pre-game coverage and you watching post-game coverage, because they are hilarious. almost 40 years.
Yes.
40 years.
And so, I mean, for almost nearly 40 years, people cared about what Charles may say. Just think about all the times that players and would just value so much what is said on this show. There's been stories about, man, they were tripping on me on inside the NBA, and like they would. It was a big deal. It was a huge deal to be a part of that show, to be talked about on that show, and to say this is the last year. It's kind of like The Last Dance, how they did with Michael Jordan. Them.
I'm laughing. Look at what your cousin just sent on the Truth Talking text line. I'm not even gonna read that out. Arbor, really, we know this. I'm just waiting for Telly's reaction when he read the Arbor. Don't that go without saying?
Oh, come on. Well, yeah. There's a anytime there's something new comes out, there's a black market for it.
That's what I was like. That goes without saying. All right, y'all, we come back. We're going to get into the Olympics. I'm sure many of us watched it. I watched some of it. Telly watched some of it. If you watched it, we want to hear your thoughts and perspectives, because the good news is that we gained some gold medals. Team USA gained some gold medals, and especially we want to recognize our sister, Simone Biles, when we come back from break. Also got an update regarding Beyonce and Taylor Swift. What is going to be their collective support for the upcoming presidential election in supporting Madam Vice President Kamala Harris? That and more hot topics. 833-212-1017. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. We'll be back.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
When you mix anything with white supremacy, it fails. I think feminism is great. I really do. I want women to be as feminist as they want to be and fight for their rights, because as a man, I literally lose nothing. That's the same mode of thinking where people believe if African Americans have total equality and fairness, that white people are going to lose something. No, they won't. Won't lose anything.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 1017 The Truth.
There are individuals in our community who certainly need health services, a variety of health services. What if they do not have health insurance? How can you serve that population?
Our community health center allows patients to come to our clinic regardless of their ability to pay, and that's part of our federal funding. You can come to our clinic and be seen based on what we call a poverty level. So anyone 200% or below a poverty level can be seen in our clinic for anywhere from $20 to $40 for that visit. So in other words, if your visit is a $400 visit and you fall on our sliding scale where you pay $20 for your visit, you would not be responsible for the $400. You'd only be responsible for $20 for that visit. Also, our pharmacy prescriptions are very, very affordable as well. Where you would normally pay, let's say for an inhaler, $240 a month for an inhaler, at our facility that would cost you about $4 or $5.
It's very good to know you guys have a sliding scale that makes it very, very affordable.
Hey y'all, have you heard of Liberate MKE? We're building power for our community for our voices to be heard. We are addressing community issues by redistributing funds from the city budget into public health, housing, libraries, and more. Did you know the Milwaukee Police Department got $300 million last year and public health didn't even get a fraction of that? We're focused on funding life, not violence. If you want to be a part of that, come join us. You can find us at liberatemke.com.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
It is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
What's going on, Truth Nation? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, July 29th. Hope you had a great weekend and you're getting your week started off right. Now, remember, before we get into our hot topics, our top stories for the second hour, remember what I suggested, Truth Nation. Telly, this is for you too, although I know you well enough to know you don't do this. Y'all don't be talking about politics at work. It's a setup. Don't do it. It's a trap. It's you know, you got a lot of folks that are angry that Kamala Harris's campaign is raising hundreds of millions of dollars in a matter of 5 minutes. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't fall for it.
When you think that, especially when you think things are a little cooler right now. Ain't too much.
Man.
Really no, because it can turn hot in a real second.
What? Because certain folks, they don't like to see us happy. They don't like to see us winning. That just, how do they keep winning? They're supposed to be on welfare. They're supposed to have black jobs. They're not supposed to be thriving. We're making sure that they continue to struggle. Don't do it, because you're gonna go into the office, you're gonna look like you just won the lottery, and you're gonna have this glow, and you're gonna be ready to make it a great week, and you're gonna go into the break room and get your coffee, and there's gonna be like somebody, so, what do you think about this presidential election? I don't. Thank you so much. Can you pass the Splenda? I'm just trying to get my coffee and have a great day. You have one too. Yep. Keep it pushing. Do not fall for the trap. Anywho,
because
go ahead, Telly.
Falling for something. I was going to say you're falling for something. So this is so private where you go into a booth, close a curtain, and cast your vote. But then you're supposed to come out and speak to everybody about what you did behind closed doors or behind a closed curtain. The two don't match.
Look, Telly, I don't even care if somebody comes up to me and says, wow, wouldn't that be awesome? We may have a black woman president. You see, I'm doing Mitch McConnell right now. You see me doing my Mitch McConnell? No, I'm telling you, don't even say a word. Just go Mitch McConnell. Just be like this. Are you there? I said, I think it's incredible that we may have our first black woman president. Look at me. That's what should be. Do not
go USA.
Right? Ooh, that was a good one, Telly. Yes.
Go USA.
I love it. Y'all heard it from Telly.
Right? Go USA.
Telly, that is what you call a genius response. I love it. So take Telly's advice. When they try to dangle that trap, just be like, go Team USA. Speaking of which, we are in the midst of the Olympics. The Olympics kicked off on Friday. We had our brother Snoop Dogg be the torch bearer.
Man,
I love it.
Stupid.
Well, I need some Snoop Dogg water in my life. But in all seriousness, there were some great victories over the weekend. I love how they kicked off with Beyonce's video. Did you see Beyonce kick off the Olympics with her?
I did not see the whole opening ceremony. That was my only regret. I only caught like Celine Dion's part, but I wish I would have saw that part.
It was awesome. Of course,
it was really good. Yeah.
Of course, she looked like, her usual gorgeous, perfect self. Speaking of which, there's been some rumors, and so here at Truth Be Told, we do our fact check. So over the weekend, there was this viral report that Beyonce and Taylor Swift were going to collaborate and host a joint concert for Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. And again, this was a viral social media post that these two, I would say, the hottest selling musicians in the world right now, were going to join forces by supporting Madam Vice President Kamala Harris through a fundraiser. That is false. Beyonce and Taylor Swift, if you heard this rumor, Beyonce and Taylor Swift could be joining forces to host a fundraising concert for Vice President Kamala Harris following her entry into the presidential race after President Biden stepped out. That is false. Now, what is true is that Madam Vice President, since the endorsement of President Biden, former President Barack Obama, and forever First Lady Michelle Obama, along with Chuck Schumer, U.S. Senate Majority Leader, and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris has raised more than $130 million. And these are from small donors. We ain't even talking about the Clooneys and the Oprahs. We talking about everyday Americans. $130 million. This is according to the New York Times report.
Wow.
Telly.
Yeah.
That's like a Giannis basketball contract. And she did that in like 5 minutes. $130 million from everyday American donors.
That is something. That is.
But we just, we want to make sure y'all know
about how they needed. Yeah, we talked about how they needed some wins because the Republicans were winning all week. They were in Milwaukee and they needed something to change, and the momentum has totally shifted.
Totally shifted. And Telly, I was telling folks I was nervous. I was like, what's going on now? I wish I could be at the Democratic National Convention on the 19th next month, August 19th in Chicago. It is going to be quite the convention. I think, I'm not trying to be funny, I ain't trying to start nothing, Telly, but I think the RNC was the warm-up. I think the DNC is going to shut it down. The Republicans, they are very nervous.
Gosh, you got me thinking now, who are they going to bring?
Listen, if you are able to attend the DNC between August 19th and is it the 21st or 22nd, Telly?
22nd.
The 22nd. 22nd. Even if you could just be there for a day, go. This is going to be one for the historical books, records, archives. Because here's the thing. Right now, the Republicans, the GOPs, they are trying to come up with some type of new strategy. Because referring to Madam Vice President as incompetent, referring to her race and her gender, calling her a DE&I hire, that is failing miserably, especially with white women voters as well as young voters. And quite frankly, Telly, I don't know if you heard this, but there's been an announcement there's going to be a White Men for Kamala Harris Zoom call this week. White men.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I knew they had a white women, but I didn't know.
Well, the white men, they're saying we are supporting Madam Vice President as well. So there will be a White Men for Kamala Harris Zoom call this week. I'm going to get some more information for our listeners who happen to be white men, for those that are interested in joining, because the GOP strategy, it has not been working. Again, in terms of name calling, trying to come for her competency. Yeah, you're not competent when you've been elected as the DA, AG, U.S. Senator, and Vice President of the United States. That definitely shows that. And then, now one thing I will say, Alexis on the on the Truth Talking text line says they about to have Beyonce give a speech. What states? Alexis, you're in my head. Alexis, you are in my head.
DT, now, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know how Beyonce's song Freedom is the official campaign song for Madam Vice President? She going to come on this stage singing it. I have a strong feeling. Look at you, Hulk Hogan. Look at you, Hulk Hogan, taking off your shirt on stage at the RNC. Honey, when Beyonce comes out, Alexis, honey, I'm with you.
Now here's another thing I just thought about. One of the most iconic places that accepting the presidential nomination took place at Grant Park in Chicago in 2008. Wouldn't it be something if they have something at Grant Park during the DNC?
That'd be awesome. And by the way, I was there that day.
So many things.
I was there that day. So
yeah, you told me. Yeah,
once they announced Ohio had voted for Obama versus McCain. Look, John McCain hadn't even conceded yet. Folks was in the street going to Grant Park. It was over. Once Ohio claimed President Obama as the winner of the presidential election, it was over. But yes, the current GOP party, led by, or one of their leaders, who is Richard Hudson, a Republican out of North Carolina, along with Speaker Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, have went back to Trump's campaign, Telly, and said that y'all need to stop talking about her incompetence or her competence, her identity, and really focus on her policy. Now, what's interesting, if you visit the whitehouse.gov or you visit Madam Vice President's campaign page, and this is a fact because I looked at it. And so if I'm missing something, Truth Nation, please let me know. I did not see a lot of information, if at all any, regarding Madam Vice President's policies. And so I would hope that we start to update, or excuse me, the Democratic Party starts to update that, because young voters, they are very intelligent.
Yeah.
And young voters they're not like, the boomers and the Gen Xers where we just voted because our ancestors and our predecessors told us to. They're not falling for that. They want to know, okay, Madam Vice President, in addition to you being black and to you being a woman, what are your policies?
Yes. And I'm sure we can get into that much more on the other side of the break. Milwaukee, the time is almost here. We have been entering Truth fans into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway for the last 3 months. And this Wednesday, we finally pick our next one call. That's all $5,000 giveaway winner. Be sure to tune into Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris this Wednesday, so you do not miss your call, because if you do, we will go down to the next caller until we find our $5,000 winner. Again, that is the big Gruber 5K giveaways this Wednesday on Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. So make sure, if your name has been entered, you are around your phone come Wednesday.
When we come back from break, we're going to get into, so Telly, I'm not as good as Snoop Dogg in terms of my Olympics commentating. Maybe you can help me out when we come back. We're going to give you the recent gold medal wins from Team USA. Yeah, I was like, I can't do it like Snoop. Snoop's, he's on a whole way more entertaining level. We're going to do the best we can when we come back, because you deserve the best, and you are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. We'll be back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know whether it's a new home or a new car, you've worked hard to achieve your dreams, and we work hard to protect them so you can enjoy the utmost peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Community Life Skills Center and Counseling Services, they believe everyone deserves access to support, regardless of insurance status. Whether you're seeking guidance in spiritual matters, battling substance abuse, or overcoming trauma, they offer a safe space to heal. From family counseling to navigating grief, domestic violence to fostering healthy relationships, their diverse services cater to your needs. But they're more than just counselors. They're educators too. So reach out to them at 414-226-5604. Your breakthrough is just around the corner.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Westbound on 94, a little bit tight from 35th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's going to be a little tight from 76th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. Southbound 43, watch for delays from just south of Silver Spring, stretching all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side is seeing delays from North Avenue up to Keefe. And 894 westbound continues kind of heavy from west of 27th Street all the way to 68th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly cloudy skies, a chance for midday showers or storms, humid with a high of 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, patchy fog later on, a low of 71. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, the Truth Family Fest is back. The award-winning 1017 The Truth is proud to announce our second annual Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August the 17th at Riverside University High School here in Milwaukee. We're going to be bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There will be live music, delicious food, and we will be giving away backpacks, school supplies, and so much more. Mark your calendars for this exciting event and come out to enjoy the music, food, and fun at our second annual Truth Family Fest, which is on Saturday, August 17th at Riverside University High School. The Truth Family Fest is presented by Associated Bank, Your Money Works Here, and sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, Gruber Law Offices, Erie Insurance, American Family Insurance, Outreach Community Health Centers, and the Greater Milwaukee Urban League. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Now, speaking of community, I want to give a shout out to Juanita on our YouTube message board, which you can join the conversation by streaming and watching Telly and I live, as well as any of your favorite Truth Nation hosts, simply by visiting youtube.com, click on the search box and type in 101.7 The Truth. And when you see us, just hit that live button and stay tuned in. You also want to hit that subscribe button. And the reason why is because our listeners send us so much great information. Again, shout out to Juanita. There will be, and this is the information that Juanita shared, there's going to be a press conference today with attorney and civil rights activist Benjamin Crump, who is part of the legal team for brother Devontae Mitchell, who was shot and killed, or excuse me, fatally murdered by security officers, allegedly. I got to do the allegedly because it hasn't been actually, I guess, that's not the legal outcome as of yet, but we know what we saw. So there will be a protest for Devontae Mitchell today, Milwaukee, Monday, July 29th, starting at 4 p.m. at the Hyatt Regency downtown. And this is where the murder of Devontae Mitchell took place, 333 West Kilbourne Avenue. So Juanita, thank you again. Juanita says it's time for justice. Spread the word. Press conference with attorney Benjamin Crump and a protest for Devontae Mitchell today, July 29th at 4 p.m. at the Hyatt Regency downtown.
Yes, good information. Again, thank you so much, Juanita, for having to do that. I mean, for providing that with us, because, again, we can share that information, and if you have the time, you can be a part of it, and let's just see justice be served in an expedited way.
Absolutely. We want justice, and we want justice now. And again, speaking of justice, I want to give a quick update on Sonia Massey. And I misquoted her age earlier. She's not 43. Sonia Massey was 36 when she was killed inside of her home by Springfield, Illinois deputy sheriffs. And so the most recent development is that reports indicate that Sean Grayson, the former deputy that was charged with Sonia Massey's murder, was discharged from the U.S. Army for serious misconduct. Do you know how big of a deal that is when you are dishonorably discharged from the military, in this case the U.S. Army? So I'm trying to understand, Telly, why did the Springfield, Ohio Sheriff's Department even hire Sean Grayson to begin with? And how many times are red flags like this ignored, which result in the death, the murders of our people? So again, the latest development is that Sean Grayson, the former deputy who is in custody now, who was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, was dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Army for serious misconduct, and yet was hired by the Springfield, Illinois Sheriff's Department. Make it make sense.
And on top of that, had been with 6 different departments. So if this guy is department hopping like that, there has to be a red flag. It can't just be he wants to relocate every 6 months or every 3 months or whatever the case may be. And it really goes to show how much vetting is taking place, because it seems like to me the only thing they saw was, oh, this is a guy that had some military experience and he's had some experience on police departments. Let's go ahead and hire him. And when we want to get jobs, it seems like we have to go through so much vetting to get on, where this guy can get on and he is the bad seed, the bad apple in every department. But what do? You just say, okay, this didn't work out here, or it wasn't a good fit for him here, so let's just continue to move him around. And that, to me, it says a lot about their hiring practices, what they are really doing, or are they hiring people that may just have an in, or we don't know if, oh man, my cousin or his cousin used to work at this department and they put in a good word for him. But to see this happening, like, we know for a fact this would never happen if this was a black police officer.
Absolutely not. And again, the question for me is, how many times does this happen where red flags such as being dishonorably discharged for serious misconduct by the U.S. Army to then be able to go on and be a sheriff, a deputy sheriff.
Yeah.
How many times has this happened? And so I don't want, because you have a lot of people that say he was doing his job or this. No, he wasn't, because he had already had. I knew as soon as he yelled, oh, she said, rebuke in the name of Jesus, and this is just me telling you, this is my truth, because I'm a woman of faith. Satan don't like it when you say Jesus' name out loud. It's a trigger. For those that do not believe in a higher power, or not people of faith, when you bring up your faith and you use a phrase like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, evil people don't like that. Now, this is just your girl DT talking.
Yeah. Especially when you look at the video and see the fact that he had his hand on his gun the entire time they're talking. Like, this woman does not pose a threat whatsoever.
At all.
You came in with different intentions.
Absolutely. Intentions to kill someone, a black woman, in her own home. Good morning, Brian. You are live with DT and Telly. What is your question or comment?
Good morning. I just wanted to address the issue you guys brought up about Kamala Harris having some white men for Kamala Harris rally or something like that. Before we jump on the bandwagon, and I know media is not for the truth, media is for social control. I think the hype train with Kamala is pretty disingenuous, because it's so obvious and so archaic to a normal thinking person such as myself, that of course a white man would be all for Kamala Harris, because she's already married to a white man, which means she has white folks' feelings, which means she doesn't have black men feelings. Not anymore. So for the media to think that the black population, the black men, are just going to rally behind her because she's being endorsed by a bunch of white guys, I mean, that's good for the white population, but how does that serve the black family? How does that serve the black man? How does that serve...
So, Brian, let me ask you a question. I just want to make sure I understand this correctly, Brian. So because Madam Vice President Kamala Harris is married to a white man, that means that she cannot be for black men?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. 100%.
Okay, so then let me ask you this, Brian. So for all... Oh, okay, because I was going to ask you, for all the brothers, all the black men across entertainment, professional sports, and in government that are married to white women, are they against black women?
Absolutely not. They're just trying to get a check, and they're just trying to go for the popular advantages that society offers them if they get with a white woman. And for one other thing, a black man with a white woman is got to have a lot of money in the first place, because you're not going to see that in the media for any other reason other than the fact that the brother has a lot of money. That's it. Because the black man is already at the disadvantage economically to speak with in the first place. You got 160 millionaires in sports and entertainment. That's so small compared to the 12% of our population that has absolutely nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So all that is not even an argument when we're talking about voting. We're talking about numbers. Those few people you see in the media that think they can sway the whole country of 300 million people, technically that should not be true. But if you celebrate it and hype it enough, you would think that narrative it has an effect at the voting box. But a normal thinking human being, a normal thinking black human being can see the BS from afar, because what Kamala Harris did to 1,500 black men over there in California is something that white men applaud.
What did she do, Brian? What did she do to black men in California? What did she do?
Over incarcerate.
Okay, I need some data. Now I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I need some data.
So over incarcerate. So none of these criminals did anything.
The data's at Google. The data's in Google. The data's in Google. And there was a young black man. I'll give you another example. I'll give you an example. There was a black man that got killed in his backyard.
But Brian,
at a cookout.
But here's the thing, Brian. As much as I appreciate, we got to go to a different segment. But I do appreciate your call. I did not mean to cut you off. But we've got to keep it moving. So thank you again for sharing your perspective and your thoughts.
Yes, appreciate that. And Truth Nation, before we step aside for a break, now is your chance, and time is running out, to be our one call, that's all, 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices, and the award will be given out this Wednesday. So be caller number 7 right now at 833-212-1017, and you will be entered to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, that is caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or a loved one has been injured or in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com for official contest rules. Visit 1017thetruth.com. DT, I can't wait on the other side of the break to try and unpack some of what Brian, I think, was trying to say. Not sure exactly what he was trying to say, but.
Well, when we come back from break, and our Truth Talking text line is blowing up. R. Moore says, where do y'all find these people? I don't understand the insecurity of some black males on Kamala having a white husband. It's not a trigger for me, LOL. Mrs. PC says she did her job, and that was all uppercase letters, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Grant says, DT and Telly, Brian, who called in earlier, also known as, okay, I don't patronize or do name calling. So please, okay, take his comments with a grain of salt. Here's the truth. Truth Nation, however you feel is however you feel. Now, Telly and I, we've had these conversations before. I'm not here to judge. If you disagree with me, or I disagree with you, or you say something that, you challenge me on, and vice versa, I'm not into calling names. I'm not into saying you're stupid or you're weird or don't call into the show anymore. Unless you call me out of my name or threaten me. Look, you have your opinion. This is my only question, Telly, and I know we got to take a break, but this is the question that I want to ask you and Truth Nation, because I find this so interesting. Now, although the truth did not exist during President Obama's first campaign, which was back in 2007 until he was inaugurated in January of 2008. Or no, was it 2009? Help me out, Telly. 2000, it's always the odd year. Nobody. Thank you, brother. I don't recall during the Obama campaign anyone having this that looked like me, any black people having this much pushback against Obama. I knew of black people that said, man, I ain't voted in 20 years, but I'm gonna make sure I vote for Barack Obama. Why? Because he's black. Now that we have a black woman on the ticket, I see all these brothers calling in, and even some black women. Here's my thing. You don't have to be for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. That's your right. You don't have to vote for her. But I'm just finding it interesting that so many people that look like us have so much negative things to say about this black woman on a public platform like a radio station, but did not have this much stuff to say back when President Barack Obama was Senator Obama running for president. Help me understand, y'all. I'm just trying to understand, why is it so problematic? And here's the thing. I'm going to say, and then we got to go to break. Here's the thing, Telly. And I've said this before, I've experienced it on this show. Black men, you will say the exact same thing that I say, Telly. Silence. Great job, Telly. If I say it, oh, she's angry, she's combative. Why is that, y'all? If during this presidential election, it is hard for you to see a black woman, because you didn't have any problem with her when she was vice president. You didn't have any problem with her when she was a U.S. senator. You didn't have any problem with her when she was attorney general. And you definitely didn't have any problem with her when she was district attorney. But all of a sudden now, it's a trigger for some of y'all brothers. And I'm trying to understand that. Because when it comes to presidential elections, when it comes to local elections, when it comes to state elections. Black women continue to be the backbone of the election process. We show up, we campaign, and now, regardless of how you feel about her, people are watching, people are listening. Like, seriously, we need to support each other. And if you don't want to vote for Kamala Harris, man, calling into a black radio station and just going for her like that, no other community does this. And I'm just curious as to why we do. Brothers that don't like black women, that come from black women, that resent black women, get healed. Because you got 99 days. You got 99 days till November the 5th. Get healed. If you don't want to vote for her, that's fine. But just don't use this platform, or consider before you go for her. Did you do the same thing when President Barack Obama was running? 833-212-1017. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. We'll be back.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join the UW Credit Union Street Team this Saturday at Milwaukee Black Arts Fest from 12 p.m. until 10 p.m. There's food, flash mob fashion shows, paint and sip sessions, live poetry, and more. So come to Milwaukee Black Arts Fest this Saturday with all of your family and all of your friends. Tickets are only $12 for youth, $15 for seniors, and only $20 for general admission. Milwaukee Black Arts Fest is what the culture is feeling. Be there or be square. It's amazing.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 1017 The Truth.
So we do have a drug take-back box at Outreach Community Health Centers. So if people have medications at their home that they want to get rid of, they could bring it to our pharmacy and we'll dispose of it for them. Anything that's not being used, anything that's kind of out of date, even antibiotics, any other medications, definitely it's better to safely dispose of it, and definitely don't flush it down the toilet because that puts it back into our drinking water supply. So
why is that a bad thing, Annie? Why do we not want to flush our medication?
Yeah, so it contaminates our drinking water. It contaminates our waterways. So our rivers and lakes don't benefit from all of those medications entering into the water supply. And we don't also enter. We have great drinking water in the city of Milwaukee, but they can only filter out so many of the pharmaceuticals. So as much as we can to reduce the pharmaceutical supply in our drinking water, we'll all be better off.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Connie's Compassionate Care is a Wisconsin Medicaid Badger Care Plus benefit program designed to help pregnant women retain the support and services needed to have a healthy baby, from medical appointments, transportation, and health education support. So, if you or anyone you know can benefit from our agency, call 414-550-7521 to speak with Lasagna. Connie's Compassionate Care has got you covered.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start digging, planting, or landscaping on your property, call 811 to have underground utilities marked. Calling 811 at least 3 business days before you plan to dig will help you know what's below and can prevent a hazardous situation. Our representatives will mark the underground utilities on your property for free. So remember, stay safe and call before you dig.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
It is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Thank y'all so very much again for tuning in to the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, because you deserve the best, because you are the best, and I hope you have the best day ever. My truth of the matter is this: Wisconsin has consecutively, for my recollection, for at least the past 5 years, been known as the worst place to raise a black family, the worst place to be a black man, and the highest rate of incarcerated black men in this state. I have yet to hear people like our previous caller call in and complain about those local state officials that are making legislations intended to keep black men in jail, but yet you want to hold Madam Vice President Kamala Harris accountable for a state that you've never lived in, but yet you've never called in and had any issues about here in Milwaukee, here in the state of Wisconsin, where it is literally number 5 on the worst places to live. Most incarcerated black men, you ain't never had no problem then. I'm just curious as to why that is. If you get triggered by the fact that Kamala Harris is a black woman, and it is difficult for you, just don't vote for her. But we're not having that here where we're going to just on a public platform like Truth Nation, black radio station, come for black women just because you got resentment. Get healed. But then tell me why you ain't got no problem with the folks in Madison and even some of the local officials here that make it their day-to-day intention to keep black men in jail. Now that's a fact, and I need you to help me understand why you're not coming for them. That's my truth of the matter.
And my truth of the matter, I will piggyback on that just because people are so quick to go into, well, she over-incarcerated black men. Like, I'm sure you can try and go and find some other statistics or data on other former prosecutors and see their rate of incarcerating black men. Let's be real clear here. Okay, if you think that Madam Vice President, when she was the Attorney General and the DA in California, you think that every person that came in front of her of color, she just said, okay, I'm throwing them in jail? Let's look at the fact that how did you even end up in front of her? And how about she's doing her job? And if there is a problem with, mass incarceration of black men specifically, maybe we need to start looking as black men, how can we not be in that position where we're even in front of a judge to get thrown in jail? Because let's remember, prosecutors don't throw you in jail. Judges and juries do. Prosecutors just present the evidence. If you haven't done anything and there's no evidence, do you think that she will just go after just black men just because of that? And again, so all of a sudden you care about all of these black people allegedly just being targeted and thrown in jail in California. And like Denise said, here in Wisconsin, black people are incarcerated triple the amount of time of any other race, and you ain't got nothing to say about that. Stop. That's all I got to say.
There you have it. Up next, 9 more hours of live consecutive Milwaukee Black Talk Radio, starting with Sherwin Hughes. Make it a great day. We love you so much. We will see and hear y'all tomorrow, Lord willing.
Peace out.
Out to all the idiots out
for
there.
Love of the game.
But there's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
And love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks.